Well, December 2020, I was newly elected mayor of Macon-Bibb County and received a very disturbing call from Leon Jones. Of course, the media had already picked up on the fact that two men that I remember their names distinctly had passed away because of the temperatures outside. And like many people in our community, that was not a great day.
I spoke with Mayor-elect Miller about what his mission was and what he wanted to do. And when he had told me, he says, I want to open a warming center. What do you need? And I said, I need a location and I need staff. I've got the cots and the blankets and all of that. And I've got the know-how. I need a location and I need staff. And he goes, well, if I solve those two problems for you, how quickly can you get this opened? That was my first foray into the Lester Miller way of it has to be done yesterday.
Out of nowhere, in the middle of the night. Like, I remember Sister Teresa told us one day we had a meeting, this was going on, this was Mr. Lester wanted to do, had a meeting, they want to do a little overnight, and then I came over and met Spencer, I met Steve Bell, introduced myself, and then they started taking people in, and we took off from there, just like a rocket.
Well, a lot of hard work, a lot of people caring, a lot of love, but a lot of good old-fashioned work. I mean, we had people, like I said, the firefighters, our commissioners, neighborhoods, volunteers, all different organizations from our homeless initiative that we have in Macon-Bibb County, our coalition. People came together to put some hard work in. We immediately began to reach out to partners like United Way, Salvation Army, anybody that would give a helping hand to us.
I always like to talk about how we initially started and what our role was in the community, helping people get back on their feet, especially after COVID. That was a huge time that a lot of people were experiencing new and different things, and we just were the place that people could come or reach out to, that we could provide a lending helping hand. Our end goal is to move people into a permanent housing situation. We just want people to feel like they belong here and while they're here.
I have seen the impact of this program. We have numerous people that will call and say, hey, thanks for all that y'all done. So that brings joy to my heart, just to see somebody that come in a down state, in just a bad place, to see them transition to a better place, transition to get a job, transition to get housing, schools for their kids, just that brings joy to me.
We need to realize that at any day, any hour, it could be us. With all the money, we can have all the money saved in the world, but we come to a situation and we pull from that money, we could be right in this situation. So we can never turn the other cheek or decide, oh, well, this is because of this, because it could be anybody.
I think most people know me, know my history, know where I come from, and haven't been a person who, was one light bill away from being homeless myself. Having to be a person who had to work with my mom and my dad to make ends meet there at the house, and having to be a person who moved 7 times in 7 years because rent is not cheap, and a lot of times people just simply can't afford to get by. But when you come out here to Brookdale, I remember his picture very distinctly. Didn't even know anybody took the picture. It's not a very flattering picture of me, but I held a small child that's now 4 or 5 years old, fell asleep in my arms. And just to realize that child felt safe for one day in their life at that time, and probably changed the trajectory. Those things you can't really live. You can't write about, you can't watch on TV, you have to feel them. But until you get here, until you see the people, until you hear the great stories, till you hold a small child, till you talk to that mother she's getting the keys to her first house ever. To remove that barrier, to make sure they got transportation here, to be able to get the school system to have a bus to pick our kids up here so they don't have to interrupt their life. That means a lot. It's life-changing, not just to them. I think the people here have a lot of love. They take their job very seriously. We have very good people here.
The compassion that they have shown to these folks who have come in off the streets, who, in all intents and purposes, are having some of the worst times in their lives. They have lost their jobs, they have lost their homes, they have so many issues going on. And so the ability for them to come in here and find a safe space that they can take a moment and pause and regroup and build themselves back up is huge. And that only happens with the staff that are here who are working every day with this community.
Macon comes together for Macon. When there's something that needs to be done, Macon come together.